currently happening in the research world regarding the search for a cure or any preventive strategies to cure HIV or prevent HIV infection. I'm a research scientist. If I can tell you my background, working with the Uganda Virus Research Institute. I've been doing HIV vaccine research work for the last 13 years. As a program, we have tested different vaccines in human trials, and we have seen results that have been published, and we have also presented these results in conferences. My approach to this talk is going to take 15 minutes, but my approach is outlined a bit. I may mix it up here and there. So I'll just talk briefly about the current burden, which some of you already know. What the World Health Organization and UNAIDS, that's supposed to be UNAIDS' dream is. The HIV test, treatment, dynamics, challenges with the virus, and then the cure update. This slide just shows you a little bit of what is happening around the world. So we have over 36 million people that are infected with HIV. And the statistics are there, the adults, the women, we even have children, and those that are below 15 years, about 3.5 million. This is an update of statistics of 2015. There are those who are newly infected, okay, within that year, about 2.1 million. We'll talk more about on the next slide. This slide, I'll jump a bit and concentrate on the line of 4, okay?
Every day.
That every day, about 5,753 people contract HIV, okay? That comes to about 240 every hour worldwide. So we spend here about 2 hours. So by the time we finish here, over 500 people will have been infected. That's how serious this is, okay? So it's that bad. When we come to Uganda, to be specific, we have about 1.6 million people who are living with HIV. And for us, our daily update, okay, is estimated at 227 individuals getting infected every day. 227. Yes, that is Uganda. Okay? Every day. You can convert that to hourly, and you'll find that probably about how many? 10 or so individuals get infected. Now, UNAIDS has a dream with WHO. It keeps shifting. This was for 2015, 2020, now it's 2030. Maybe we'll hear it being pushed ahead. But we hope to have 0 infections, new infections, 0 death, and there will be 0 discrimination against people infected with HIV. Then there's what we call the 90%, 90%. So hopefully 90 people will have been tested, 90% of all people in the world will have been tested with HIV, and they will know their status. And 90% of those that are infected will be on treatment, and 90% of those that are on treatment will have suppressed the virus. I will explain more about what it means by suppression. But suppressing the virus means that they have cleared it in their system, that it's no longer infective. Okay, it cannot multiply. It is below detectable levels in the body. Okay, I'll talk more about that. I think I've explained this. Now, we all know that the only treatment available for now is people using ARVs, antiretroviral therapies. Okay, these have saved a lot of lives, and they help to prevent new infections. How do they do this? If someone is on these drugs, their viral load, the amount of virus in their system, gets below detectable levels. Now, such people, they have very few or very small chances of transmitting to the next person. Okay? If it's, I don't know that, is that clear to everyone? Yes, that's very straightforward. So they prevent illness and saves money and promotes development, because people can work, can stay alive and productive. Okay? I may not go into details of this, but these are how this is how drugs work. I'll briefly explain it in this slide. Okay? In the life cycle of the virus, the bluish kind of circle is the cell that it attacks, which we know as the CD4 cell. Okay? So the virus comes and attaches to that cell, goes inside. The unique thing about the HIV virus is that it changes its DNA to resemble that of the individual, that of the cell. Okay? So it integrates its DNA within the DNA of the cell, and that hides it a lot and helps it to multiply. It's very unique. Other viruses don't do that. Many of the viruses don't do that. They stay as a virus, and so the system is able to see that this is viral DNA. But for the HIV, it integrates. It's like grafting. So it integrates. Now, what the drugs do, the ARVs, which we know of, the way they work, is that at one point they are what we call entry inhibitors. They just block off the virus from entering that cell, because without the virus entering the CD4 cell, it is as good as useless. It cannot multiply, so it dies naturally. There is a natural death, like the way we grow old and die. Okay, so it will die if it does not go into this cell. It's not able to multiply. So some of what the drugs do, as you take those drugs, they block it from entering that cell. Okay. Others, if it's been successful and it enters the cell, it blocks the enzyme that it uses to change to a DNA. The enzyme is called reverse transcriptase. It prevents it from using that enzyme. It blocks that enzyme from making the virus to change its DNA to integrate into to change into DNA that is able to integrate into the cell's DNA. Okay, that's on the lower side. There's what we call the integrase inhibitors. Those are also ARV drugs. And at the end, where you see the arrow going out, there's what we call protease inhibitors. So once this DNA has integrated into the cell and it has multiplied, the virus has to finally assemble itself, because it has to move away from the cell DNA and assemble itself before it moves out. So there are other ARVs that block that assembly. They are called protease inhibitors. They prevent those proteins, the different components of the virus, from coming together. So that is how the ARVs work. And by that, they are able to keep the viral load in the system very low. And if the viral load is low, that means the virus is not available to attack the CD4 cells. Okay? And the CD4 cells are the ones responsible for your defense, for my defense. If you get sick, the CD4 cells are responsible for activating the cascade that kills all the different microorganisms, the pathogens that attack your body. That's why they say that someone that HIV does not actually, you don't die of HIV. What it does, the virus removes that defense system so that whatever pathogen or whatever disease attacks you takes you down, because you're defenseless. Okay? So if that's clear, so that's how the drugs work. Now, if they work like that, why don't we, why don't they clear the virus? I'm sure you have read, there's an article which was written in the paper some few years back about a person in Uganda here who they said had cured of HIV, but the real thing was their virus had cleared from the body. You could not detect it. Okay? And that is the result of those drugs. But there's another thing that this virus does. So this one is saying why aren't ARVs enough to clear? So this is what we call HIV latency. Okay? That component which I told you, whereby the virus DNA integrates into the host DNA. Now there are some cells that go and rest. Okay? They are like reserve. Okay? They go on, he said the word leave, but they rest. And in this resting, they are called upon later when the body is exposed to the same infection. Or, they just rest, they're just in a resting state. And this can be in the brain cells, in the gut, in the different parts of the body, whereby these cells just rest. Okay? Now, because of that, because the virus now is not in the system, okay? That means the ARVs cannot help. Once someone stops taking their drugs, now this this virus which is hiding in those reserved places comes out. That is why someone will be on the drugs for life. Okay? So that is why ARVs are not able to give us a lasting solution. Now, there's some natural immunity to HIV, some rare people that just do not get HIV. And then there are those, if they are lacking what we call the CCR5. That CCR5 is the receptor, is the one which receives the virus to enter the cell. Okay? So if you lack that receptor, the virus will come to the cell, the CD4 cell, but it is not able to enter because someone who is supposed to receive them is not there. Okay? So those are also rare individuals, and that is another strategy that the scientists are trying to use to manipulate the cells. Okay? Now, the current cure for research strategies include, there's what we call kick and kill. Okay? The gene therapy alteration, I'll explain that. Stem cell transplantation and therapeutic vaccines. Okay? The kick and kill is trying to look at that strategy whereby now that the DNA, the ARVs are able to clear this virus from the system, but it hides in these reservoirs. So if there's a way in which we can kick it out of these hiding places, smoke it out, and it comes out into the system, so there are lots of groups of different scientists who are trying this strategy of how do we kick it out. Okay? And if there is a breakthrough in that, trust me, AIDS will be history. Okay? The drugs will be able to work on the available virus in the system. But it's not easy. It has its challenges, and I won't go into the details of that. There's what we call the gene therapy. Okay? Here, it focuses on removing certain elements that the virus uses. For example, that issue of if you can remove the CCR5, okay? If you can remove the receptor, okay, and put back these cells without the receptor, then so the cells are removed from the body. You remove the receptor, put them back in the body. That means even if the virus comes, it won't be able to enter the cells. So that is gene therapy. There are a group of people, and this is part of my PhD research project that hopefully I'll be able to undertake. There are people called elite controllers. Okay, they form 1% of all those that are infected with HIV. Just 1%. These people do not use drugs. They don't take drugs, but they are able to keep the virus at below detectable levels in the body. Okay, they are called elite controllers. So we want to study these individuals and say what special thing is making them be able to do that. Okay, and maybe we can learn lessons and design vaccines and or therapeutics. Okay, there are also what we call long-term non-progressors. They are also infected with HIV, but their CD4 cells do not go below the required level. Okay, so they are able to maintain their CD4 cells high even if the virus is also high. Okay. So they are called long-term non-progressors. So they won't get into AIDS at that point of symptoms where the symptoms come out, but they are able to stay healthy. Okay. Yes. So I think the scientific challenges to finding a cure. So understanding the latency bit will be a key factor, as I have mentioned. And then we also know that this is known. The history of HIV cures is not new. We've heard of people who have got herbs. We've heard of people being prayed for and they cure miraculously. You know, God can cure all diseases. So this concept of finding a cure is not new. There are lots of reference points. Okay, some people have taken herbs and they've claimed to improve their health. There's a caveat here also that what we have seen. Like for example, there's these two examples in our workplace. We do VCT, where we found a man who had been taking ARV drugs for the last 3 years, okay, because he thought he had HIV. But when we tested them, they actually did not have HIV. Now, did they cure? Did someone pray for them and they cured, or the diagnosis was wrong at that point of going to a clinic and they said you were sick when they were not sick? So we found out that the testing section, the testing procedures are also there's a catch there during the time of testing, because some people just test and they have no idea, and they will tell you you have HIV when you don't have it. So you can start on drugs when you actually are not sick. So it's better to really go in trusted health centers where they can properly diagnose and test you very well. Okay? I won't go into the details, but because the normal testing, you remember if you've lived as long as I have, they used to take off blood and they tell you, come after 2 weeks for your results. You remember, okay? These days, you go, wait for 1 hour, and your results are out, okay? So that compromise of trying to give you the results as soon as possible, also if the tech who is doing that is not so good, he may give you the wrong results. So you have to really go to trustworthy centers for testing. So we hope for the organization I'm working for is looking into coming up with an HIV vaccine, so that as kids, as they receive the polio vaccine, measles vaccine, we also have an HIV vaccine. And we are moving on. We've done a couple of trials. Actually, about 2 weeks ago, there's a trial which started in South Africa. It's called a phase 3. There are different phases in which we test these vaccines. But we hope we can have good results from that. It was already tested in Netherlands, I think it was Netherlands, and it showed a 35% protective ability. So they've modified it a bit, they've modified that vaccine a bit, and now they're testing it again in a large number of groups of people. Yeah, this is my last slide. So other preventive strategies, again I talked of vaccines, but there's that challenge of the changing virus. You know, the vaccine works on a lock and key hypothesis, okay? Yeah, lock and key. A key only fits in one lock, okay? So what happens with the virus is that wherever it is making copies of its own, it makes a mistake in the transcript. And then the species which comes out is different, okay? From the mother one. So that changing, it's one of the biggest challenges. Otherwise, a vaccine would have been formed already. So you design a vaccine for this type of HIV virus, and then as it replicates, it changes. So this vaccine can no longer work. The lock has changed. Okay?
Work on the master key.
That's a good one. Now the next bullet is the broadly neutralizing antibodies that have been discovered. So the word broadly neutralizing, so they can neutralize a big number of different species of the virus. Okay? So these have just been discovered by actually our group in New York a few years back. But again, it's research. Okay? When you discover these antibodies, you need to know how am I going to manufacture more of these, to make more of these, and then they also can be used as a vaccine. We design like a more of a vaccine, the concept of a vaccine again. But someone gets those antibodies, they are given to you, they're injected in your body, so when the virus comes, they are able to neutralize it. Okay? But it's still a lot of science in there. But at least a few individuals were seen who had those antibodies. That is where they were got from. So you've heard of circumcision, and a claim that at least it reduces infection by 60%. Yes, it's a claim because, research was done, and there are a lot of other people coming up to refute it, okay? So, but at least the facts are there that about 60% reduction of the infection in those that are circumcised. That's why you've seen a lot of messages going around, get circumcised. And the theory behind that, there's some research we're doing, because we're trying to find out why is it that those that are circumcised have, a lower chance of getting infected. Okay? Again, it's that issue of, at that point of infection, does the foreskin have more CCR5 cells, so if you remove it, then the chances of the virus, entering are reduced. Or once you remove the foreskin, the remaining skin becomes more stronger, okay, so that the tearing, is reduced. Because once there's a tear, that's where the entry is, okay? If there's no tear, you won't find HIV entry. So maybe when you remove the foreskin, and the remaining skin becomes as normal skin, almost. So the chances of tearing are reduced, okay? The last concept is PrEP and PEP. You've heard of PrEP and PEP? No. Okay. Again, it rides on the theory of or the science of ARVs. So before you are exposed, this is pre-exposure. Let's say you know someone is affected with HIV, and for you you're like, you know, this is the person I want. Okay? So pre is that before you engage with this person, you take these drugs. You take these drugs, okay? And you take them consecutively for at least a month, even after the act. Okay? Again, it works on the other. I told you how ARVs work. So should the virus get in your body, these drugs you're taking are able to block it from entering the cell, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That is pre. Now, there's PEP, which is post-exposure. Now, that is what we health workers use. Those who are doing surgery, you may be doing surgery on an HIV positive individual, accidentally the needle or whatever scalpel you're using pricks you, or you're taking off blood from an infected person and you prick yourself. So PEP is post-exposure. So you've been exposed, you start taking the drugs within 72 hours. Okay? Once you start taking the drugs, again, the same principle works. The virus, once it's in your body, because the drugs are there, they will prevent the virus from multiplying. Okay? You don't get sick, you don't get infected. There is an 99% chance that you will not get infected. So we've been through that before, different health workers that have been exposed. The trick is you have to start it on time. Okay? Beyond 72 hours, the virus has already entered. The chances of you trying to combat it are very minimal. Okay? So and the same principle works for those that are seeking to start drugs. Right now, I think the Minister of Health is moving that once you're diagnosed like this, they don't wait for your CD4s to go down. You start the drugs immediately. So there's the timing factor. Okay? I think that is it. Thank you for listening to me. Okay? Yeah.
Questions to Bob. It's going to be strict. I will not have any other question after I've taken this. Because I have another presenter that also will attract many questions. Okay? We have Mabito, we have Maggie, we have Bile, we have Mrs. Everyday, and Mwalimu. We'll start with Mwalimu, we come to Maggie, to Mabito, to Mrs. Everyday, to Bile. And before you ask, organize your question. Ask questions. Don't ask what you don't know. Some people ask what they don't know that they ask. People who come and receive these questions what is your question?
Actually, in a minute, I wanted to authenticate his discussion that it is very, very true. I'm a scientist too, and this is my work. And I wanted to show that's a good discussion. However, I wanted him to guide us on why these policies are so sluggish, making PrEP and PEP available to every person who sleeps with the person who don't tested them. And secondly, I'm also advocating that testing materials be given to the people at their bedside. So that when you go, if you really think that you can't eat with the latex,
there was a reception is a road.
Asikawe mugera okebera ndakenda chika za mwasatu wawo
ona kujjamu
kakati mukala bibiri katambula uba bubiri amusalawo bebuka obyagala ng'obitwala ng'okimanyi. So I think in our 1990 strategy, we must liberalize some of these policies. Otherwise, it will end there.
Thank you. Maggie? Yes, Maggie then too.
Thank you. My first question has been asked by Case. The second one, I'm not sure whether it's topic or not. I want to know why condoms are not safe, because whether used or not, same thing.
Condoms. Why condoms are not safe? Technical here.
Thank you so much for the presentation. Now,
let us communicate.
Please.
My question
Yes,
is,
sir.
he has explained about the preventive or curative ways.
Yes, sir.
Yes, but up to now I've never understood where does that HIV/AIDS comes from, because it looks to be a very clever virus that it knows how to duplicate and then it is different. Where is the origin of the HIV/AIDS?
Because
Yeah.
that scientifically. Thank you, Mubito. Let us have this is of the one and the only.
I'm scared. My question may be off topic.
It is okay.
Because actually, ARVs works on AIDS, HIV. Then also I've heard that it also works on hepatitis B. So my query is, when you have hepatitis B, they give you ARVs. So that same expression is what I'm asking about, as in how come?
How related is hyper and HIV?
Yeah, because we are seeing this type of virus
Yes.
come up fraging into other types, as in it.
Okay.
It can become.
Yet with hepatitis B,
Yes.
with, as in if you are consecutive with the drug,
Yes.
it's healed.
Okay. So how much can ARV? The last question. Okay.
There is Mariandina.
Billy, get the microphone.
I'm very loud and
Get the
clear.
microphone, Billy.
There is Mariandina drugs. What happened to them?
Yeah, is that a herbal? Because the name is of course herbal.
Yes.
Mariandi. Thank you very much. Bob, attempt to go scientifically. Then I'll get you off the hook on the wider questions. The guy coming up will have the mass.
Okay, thank you for these questions. I'm going to be as brief as possible. And again, some I may not have the answers for them now. But the next speaker, I believe some of the things will follow in the next speaker's line. About policy, okay? Yes, about policy. Now, when you go to the developed world, okay, these drugs are off shelf, okay? They're off shelf, although even if they're off shelf, there is a prescription that is required to some of them, okay, to pick them up. They fear, there's a lot of, research is an ongoing process. One of the major fears is the issue of side effects of these drugs. Okay? Some have actually killed individuals instantly. Yes, these drugs have side effects, okay? So that it's not something you just, if you feel like taking, I take, if I don't feel like taking, I don't. That is why if they give you a certain type, there are very many, okay? If they give you a certain type, your doctor will monitor you, okay? He will tell you, okay, take this. If you feel bad in the night, let me know, okay? After a week, let me know, because then they can change. Those drugs don't work for you, they may end up killing you. So if you just go privately, buy them and take them, okay, and you're not monitoring how your body is reacting to them, then it can, its intended cause may not be kind of reached, okay? So that's the fear of the side effects and abuse, okay? You've seen how now we have bacterial resistance, okay? Because people are taking amoxicillin, all these other antibiotics, anyhow, they feel like, I have an infection, they take. Even some of the hospitals are not helping us, okay? Everyone has an infection, they give you amoxicillin, even if you are not. So, but resistance has come up, the issue of resistance. So even here, another aspect I did drive into, you may receive the virus which may be transferred to you from one individual, could be resistant already to a certain ARV, okay? So you go off the shelf, buy that drug, and you take, it's not working on you. You think you're covered. So there are lots of, so there has to be a really proper regulatory procedure of how to go about this. So that's why they are not so much jumping to putting them on the shelf for people. Okay. However, what I know is that if you have had an incident, okay, like last night you were raped or you were involved in a very incident that you were sure you could have been exposed, if you go to these health centers, they will give you these drugs without any reservation. Okay? Hope that answers you. Why condoms are not safe? Again, they put on those condoms that the 99% or something like that on the prescriptions, they will say that it will not protect you 100%. Yes, even when even with the different drugs or even different stuff, because of lack of proper research, okay? That latex, it's a latex. Have you ever put water or anything in that latex and the next day you find that outside of, some of the water or the liquid leaked through? Okay? So that's why they say it's not 100%. Okay? And because of that, and Bill Gates actually, I think about 5 years ago or more than that, he put up lots of money for people to go into research and invent or manufacture a condom that if people put it on their body, okay, like it feels like there's nothing there. Put millions of dollars for industries to invent such a condom, okay? The people don't want that condom. Users, if you take a survey, very few people actually use condoms. That is very true. Because they feel it's a burden, it's some extra thing on them. So that's why the Gates Foundation is going into that. Can we really make something that people can feel okay? Even if it's on, they won't feel that it's on. So, but the fact is, some liquids can leak through. Okay, there's a chance that they can leak through that latex, and so that's where they are 100%. However, we all know that also there's a lot of stuff that happens before we act. Okay. That is why many people say, but I've been using a condom, you know. But during foreplay, doing all these things, people are touching different places and they have wounds here and there. Okay? So the whole thing, you may blame the condom that maybe this condom burst or did what when something actually happened before you even started the act. That exposed you to it. Okay? Scientific origin of HIV. Wow. That is a question I've asked myself, but I'll give you what is available, okay? When you go and search where did HIV or where did this infection start from, you'll find a lot of theories, okay? What we know as scientists is that it was first observed in people who were having MSMs, okay?
What is MSM?
MSM is men having sex with men. Okay, was it California or one of those places? Some people are presenting with similar kind of signs and symptoms. The immunity was low, and before Robert Gallo, who was among the first people to identify it, coined it like immunodeficiency syndrome. Because they didn't understand it. People were. It just started like that. That's the literature you're going to find. Okay. And there are all these claims that probably somewhere in Congo or somewhere as the humans interacted with these monkeys, the virus. Because in the monkeys, in the macaques, there's a similar virus called the simian virus, SIV, simian immunovirus. It's similar to HIV. That's why when we're doing our drug testing on vaccines, it's first tested. Whatever concept comes up, it's first tested on that type of virus that affects the monkeys. So there's all these theories of its origin, but really there's no particular one which I can concretely say that this is the origin. Some people even have claimed that it was manufactured as a bioterrorism kind of invention by some scientists. But all these are claims that are not, they don't have any basis. Okay? Hepatitis B and HIV all use ARVs. What is again, hepatitis B virus is different from the HIV virus. Okay, they are all viruses, and they come from different family groups. Probably somewhere in their lineage there could be something connecting them. But
why do you give us ARVs then for each?
So I'll give you an example. I don't remember, I don't have my figures correctly, but what you see as Viagra, okay, was a drug, I think, which they had manufactured which they had made to treat some kind of disease, okay? So they thought it would treat, I don't remember the disease actually exactly, but it was made for a totally different thing, okay? Then they monitored the people, the men who were using it, they were presenting, you know? Side effects, okay? So it turned out that actually it was turned into, you know, what you see as Viagra. So these drugs, even there's some scientists in Kenya who realized that actually ARV drugs, I think, had some effect with treatment of cervical cancer, you know, in early, this is all research, you know, there's a lot of research that goes on around. So ARVs and being given to hepatitis infection, I'm not a guru at that. I'll look into it again to give you more concrete information. But what I know is that many of the action of these drugs, if the principle is the same of how, you know, blood can prevent a certain enzyme, you know, it can cut across, okay? Because there are different viruses that come from some similar families that can be cross-cutting. Mariandina, I really don't have information on Mariandina. I know he was trying to come up with, again,
it's a drug and it was killed.
I don't have that information whether he was killed. But this invasion, actually, personally, I'm okay with these invasions as long as they are in a controlled setting. The only issue, because most of these drugs that are manufactured, they are got from herbs, okay? Extractions from trees, you know, and then they come up with these drugs. The problem here is that someone will give you mumbwa, okay, and the dose, okay,
overdose.
As you take it, you know. But the amount of whatever is working in that mumbwa, you take it for 3 months, then you eventually see you have some cancer somewhere. The issue is they have not properly, because each drug, even if it's Panadol, whatever drug you're taking, went through what we call a clinical trial, control conditions, give it to few people, observe them, see the dose, how does it work, okay? So we're not refuting the herbal because they've worked for different people, but the fear is that issue of control of dosage and toxicity and all that. So I don't have information on Mariandina, but I know he was coming up with a drug that probably would have, if it was, you know, worked with other. Actually, these days there's a lot of collaboration between scientists and the herbal guys, okay? Because they want to harmonize these things. Thank you.